Explain like I'm 5 on why do planets spin. If you throw a bunch of stuff together randomly, then it is very unlikely to end up with exactly 0 rotation. Initially the average rotation will be slow. But as the stuff collapses and forms smaller objects like stars and planets, the rotation rate increases. You can see the same effect with ice dances or if you have a rotating chair. Spin with extended arms and then pull in your arms. Can someone explain like I caveman this? Most replies words too big cold sweat smile. When everything was a dust cloud as it condensed into a planet, it acts like water going down a drain in that it naturally starts to spin. This keeps going as the planet forms and the planet keeps spinning. Conservation of angular momentum and a near frictionless environment. Planets started out as swirling clouds of dust. Stuff moves perpetually in the vacuum of space. You are underestimating that planets move so slowly that it takes literally all day for them to spin once. Rolling on the floor laughing. Galaxies were created from matter coming from all directions, which caused them to spin. This spinning matter created the stars and planets. Spinning matter spinning planets. Because it is more likely that they will spin than they won't spin. That's it. Just statistics. Think of pouring milk into coffee. It makes those swirl patterns. Is it possible that you could pour the milk in perfectly straight so that every molecule of milk hits every molecule of coffee perfectly dead on? I guess. But it's way more likely that milk molecules will hit coffee molecules off center. With like a glancing blow. Causing them to spin. Because there's only one way to be still and a billion ways to spin. So the chance of not spinning is 1 out of billions. So everything in the universe spins. Mercury doesn't spin. Neither does the moon. I don't know why. And I'm too lazy to look it up. I'll come back after my nap. And hope someone replied with an explanation. Planets spin because when they are created, they are made from stuff that is moving in a circle. As this stuff comes together, its spinning makes the planet spin too. This spinning continues unless something else stops it. Imagine you had 2 balls tied to one another with a string. Throw those 2 balls. If one ball is slightly faster than the other, it'll pull the string taut, and the balls will start to spin around one another. Now imagine you had 1,000,000 balls, all tied together. That's the planets. For a 2D example, try tossing a coin onto a flat surface without it wobbling or spinning at all. That is similar to what happened in 3D. Lots of random movement means it's unlikely for things to be perfectly balanced. And lack of balance often results in some form of spin. Spinning helps to stabilize their orbits. Chunks of matter that were in orbit but not spinning didn't maintain lasting orbits and either collided with each other or were absorbed by the sun or the planets. In an complete vacuum with minimal or zero gravity influence, the real question would be how could a celestial body not spin? An object in motion stays in motion unless outside factors prevent the motion. In space, there are zero or minimal outside factors. So imagine 2 particles drawn toward the center of mass of a cloud. It's very unlikely they are perfectly aligned to strike each other. So they speed up as they approach, but miss each other and pass. Now they are bent back toward the center by gravity. And again approach, but miss again. Soon they are circling. Billions of iterations of this means that the cloud is eventually rotating. The direction of rotation being the sum of billions of these tiny interactions. Massive objects in space creates a gravitational force that affects other large space objects and pulls it towards itself. But since the other objects it attracts towards itself already have their own speed, instead of being directly affected by this gravitational force, it sits in the orbit of that massive object and starts to rotate. Big boom make rocks spin. The giant toilet bowl that is the galaxy flushes everything towards the center and keeps them spinning. Imagine two people skating in from opposite directions, with the goal of safely grabbing each other. If they hit straight on, they'll get hurt. If they slightly pass each other and grab hands, they spin together instead. The same thing happens in space. Rocks that smack head-on vaporize, while those that hit a glancing blow or near miss get pulled together by gravity and end up spinning. The sun rotates, so the centrifugal force creates the solar system. The sun also moves forward, so the solar system moves forward with the sun while maintaining the solar system structure. There is an amazing animation on the net to show this. Fuck if I know. Apparently we're all alien descendants and were spawned as slaves, cross-mated with aliens to then serve them, and when they left back in the ancient times they tried to wipe us out with a great flood. But some lived and that's us now. I'm high AF and just did a deep tinfoil hat dive. Sorry. Planets spin. Yay, no clue. In space, there isn't anything that stop an object from continuously spinning. So once something starts spinning, in this case planet, it not gonna stop. Planets are formed when dust cloud gather together. In the process, there's a lot collisions, forces going around. So planet just naturally starts spinning. And again once it start, nothing stopping it. Copied from another answer that was the best IMO. Heavily redacted though. If you have a cloud of gas full of particles moving in random directions, then they will all attract each other due to gravity acting on their mass. If nothing else is near this cloud, then the common gravity will be the dominant force on all of the particles. They will all be attracted to the common center of mass and tend to orbit that center. Conservation of, in this case, angular momentum. Whatever spin they were created with continues, ignoring tides for the sake of simplicity. As usually in sciences, why is the wrong question. They spin because they aren't not spinning. It just be like that. Difference of momentum when stuffs meet each other. Unless they meet at exact same speed, direction, and energy, there will be extra momentum causing rotation.